Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an emergency repair we have to perform here on our carbon fiber Panigale. What we've got is that beautiful Panigale heel guard there, and that's flexing, and as it's flexing and the machine suspension is moving, it's making contact along the carbon fiber cover. The swing arm, single-sided swing arm, which Ducati is so noted for, is actually a large piece. I believe it's a casting. I don't think it's a forging. Maybe a forging. Someone could possibly tell us. But as your heel goes against this, especially when you're as strong as I am, of course, but as your heel goes against this and the suspension works up and down, making contact with that carbon fiber there and leaving a bit of a gouge mark. I thought about just placing a little tape over the top of it. I tried to measure it and there's no real imprint. It's just scraping away the top cover. But I think if I go over here to these two mounting bolts and just put a washer on the other side of them and bring it out just a little bit, that will stop making contact. So let's give it a go. What do you say? So these little guys down here are 3mm, and I must apologize. As a typical American, I think more of our system of measurement than I do in metrics, but I must say it is easier, so maybe you metric people have been on to something for a while. Why didn't you tell us? So we'll take these out, and I'm not sure that you can see behind there, but it's folding back out, and I'm going to put a washer behind this, between the heel guard and this beautiful rear set. By the way, this rear set, the closer you look at this machine, it's just incredible. This rear set is absolutely a work of art. So I'm just going to put a washer there and space it out at just a trifle. So hopefully it'll keep the contact point of this rear part here off of the swing arm. Bear with me, got to find a washer. Okay, so under the heading of teaching an old dog new tricks, which don't happen very often, I had to convert it in my own mind to a US measurement. It's about 230 thousandths, just shy of a 1/4 inch under the threads here. So we'll go over and see if we can't find a washer. Be nice if we could find a nice metal washer to space it off. Oh, let's say about a 1/4 inch itself. Be right back. Let's see if we can find one. So, after I delved deeply into the hidden recesses of my washer drawer, by the way, don't throw anything away. You'll never know when you're going to need them. I came across a couple of beautiful aerospace grade aluminum washers, nicely anodized, come from my years in the aerospace industry, and they'll be great for spacing this out. So, we're going to use those two things. I'm also going to put a little thread locker on this to keep it in place, because once we space it out, I want to make sure that it stays engaged and keeps that beautiful carbon fiber heel guard in place. So, back to the next phase. We will be using the Loctite blue thread locker, marked removable. It's marked removable here because these will come in and out. We don't want to set it in permanently. And note the irony that it's labeled blue thread locker and conveniently shipped in a red container. Draw any conclusions you wish, but it is blue. I don't know if this will come out. Can you see that? It's blue. Yeah, blue. But the container's red. So that's the thread locker we're going to use. I'll spare you a little bit of the detail, and we'll get back to assembly here. Okay, with the thread locker, you don't need a lot of this stuff, and you only need it on the part that's actually going to come into contact with the surface you're threading into. So that's really all you need. All right, on to the first part of assembly. Okay, we're going to run these down, tighten them up. I forget what it is. It's supposed to be about 70 Newton meters, I think. But tighten them in, and hopefully those spacers behind this heel guard will keep them from contacting that beautiful swing arm, single-sided swing arm cover. I'm going to put a little electrical tape on the backside here and keep an eye on it so that I can tell if it is making contact, and hopefully it won't scratch the carbon fiber. It'll scratch the tape, and we may have to put another washer behind there. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll find out. Anyhow, there it is. Emergency repair. Thank goodness we got this in time. So I was a little confused there, ladies and gentlemen. I had the camera set on taking photos. Not sure how that happened. My ineptitude, I think, would be likely the cause. But I'm going to use a little electrical tape, as I said, to clean up and put on here to see if it still catches it. And hopefully the electrical tape will get it rather than the very expensive carbon fiber piece. By the way, this weave all just matches so well. You get such a feeling of admiration for what Dotto and Jarrett did back there in Pennsylvania. So first of all, though, I'm going to use this cleaner that Dotto recommended, and it is called Totally Awesome. LA's Totally Awesome. Gotta like it. Los Angeles, my old stomping grounds. Was born, raised, grew up, surfed, and got in a lot of trouble around there. But anyway, Dotto recommended this stuff to clean the carbon fiber. You can't use really a polish on it. And he recommended diluting it at 50%. So I got myself a very handy little Ace Hardware sprayer bottle, added 50%. I used, by the way, I used purified water. I didn't use water just out of the tap. I'll say filtered water. Purified sounds a little highfalutin for what I did there. But it's just water out of the tap. But it cleans really well. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cut a little piece of plastic electrical tape to sit behind there. One thing I always recommend for everybody to keep in their garage is this. Sorry, dipping and moving around a little bit. Have to do it by hand. Are these, I should say. Yeah, we say this is a good pair of scissors. I actually have two, because when you're in the garage working around, you're going to need to cut something. You're going to need some nice scissors. And it's so much easier to use these than it is, let me get these into the frame. There they are. Than it is to use a wire cutters or something like that, make do. These are so much easier to cut with. So we'll take a little piece of the tape. We'll see how long this lasts. It doesn't have to last long. I just want to see any witness marks if it does actually still contact that swing arm as it's going up and down. And I'm just going to cut a small piece of it like this. See that? That's why they call them scissors. It works so well. Again, hoping this is going to show up well here. And just going to place it right there. And that way, any scratching that happens will happen to the tape, and I'll know that I've got to space that out another eighth or maybe as much as a quarter. But I still have some threads going through the other side. I've got them locked down with some thread lockers. Emergency repair complete. Would you guys please let Dozer know that he needs to keep a closer eye on Dado around the garage? It's a little disappointing, but hey, what can you do? All right, on to the next project. So the last thing to do here, and I'd appreciate a few comments and give me your opinions. I have two tank protectors. This one I sourced locally here in the US of A. This one came from Italy, and this one is I'll call it a faux carbon fiber. It's a carbon fiber looking weave. It's not really carbon fiber, but it is looking that way. This also has a bit of carbon fiber to it, but hoping you're not getting too much glare there. But this has V4 on it and the Ducati emblem. Looks pretty stealth. I'm sort of favoring this one. I kind of like this one personally. But give me a comment. Let me know what you think. I suppose it's even possible I could put both of them on there, one above the other. But let me know. Give me a comment. Subject to somebody coming up with a really big drastic reason, I kind of prefer this one. It brings a little bit of color to a otherwise matte machine. The Phantom, the V4S Panigale by Campisi Customs, full carbon.